everyone.
Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Ben's Hager smelling like bank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top, if you got it, let's go.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
coming in
Yes.
the living room because this shit is about to be fire. Right
Money,
Girl.
money,
here.
Yes.
money.
Yes.
Right here. So welcome to another No Bra Wednesday on Grown Ass Women Shit. And today, y'all know what today is. It's
What?
the fourth Wednesday of the month. And what does that mean? Money moves with motherfucker. No, money moves with
Okay, y'all know what that means. Pastor
Yes,
getting
y'all know
excited.
it. We about to get excited. I'm excited. Y'all don't know. I'm just
Y'all
excited.
know she about to show the
Our
fuck out.
panel is so fire. Oh God, y'all. I don't know if y'all ready for all this fire, but anyway, today's topic is the art of using other people's money, credit,
Mm.
business credit 101. So we are
Yes.
having a very high level conversation about business credit. I know I get questions about this all the time. So I decided to reach back and Sonya reached back and we pulled the most man. Look, y'all know Dr. O, right?
Yes.
Two of these people are Dr. O recommended. And one of these people I actually learned about credit from. So they are
What?
top notch folks on this panel. So get your pen, get your paper ready, grab your mama, grab your daddy, grab your kids because
Girl,
it's
get
about
all
to
of them.
go down. So with that, I'm gonna pass it on to my girl Sonya, the sensuous certified sexologist, and she can tell
What?
you what we have coming up.
Yes, I am Sonya, the sensuous certified sexologist, and I am just happy to be here to have this sexy ass conversation about money. So
Hello.
yes, and about credit, and I'm so excited to have my mentor, one who actually got my credit straight. So so you want to
Tell the
know who
people in the
got
back.
my shit together? So hello. So yes, just as a reminder to everybody, we go live on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for No Bra Wednesday, where we let our girls loose and we say it with our what? Breast,
Breast.
honey. Yes, because you know when them titties start swinging, they start talking. And we are ready. We are here for the wisdom that they are about to give
Bless us
us.
with.
Girl, we are going to be blessed. Just a reminder that you do not want to miss next week. Let's see what we have. Oh, next is our first Wednesday of each month. We are going to be shooting the shit with Sonya and Paz. And you know, it's been 2 months since we've done a current event show. So we didn't talk some shit about some things. And you know, everybody on social media is up to some BS. So we gonna have plenty of
Kanye.
girl, don't. Adidas is mad right now, right? Adidas is like, God, 10% of their revenue, but they're like, we gotta cut this motherfucker. He is crazy. So we're gonna talk about all the things next Wednesday. You do not want to miss it because you know we clown and have a lot of fun. If it's not shooting the shit with Sonya and Paz, it's Ask Your Daddy. So the first Wednesday of next month, we will be having the men back in the room. We will have an opportunity to hear their opinions about all things, all the things, and then of course, second Wednesday of the month is Cocktails with a Sexologist, where we will talk about getting it one and popping in the bedroom. And the last Wednesday of the month is Money Moves with Pops. So make sure you tune in. And that last Pastel said, I am so excited because we have some heavy hitters today. And so we're going to go around. I'm going to start at the top here and let our guests introduce themselves and just tell us about who you are, what you got going on, and what you know about this credit, child. So let's see. Let's start with Miss Rosa Lure. And let me put up your Rosa Lure Lewis. Miss Credit Goddess.
Yes.
If you could introduce yourself, ma'am, take a minute, tell us a little something about yourself and what you want the viewers to know about what you got going on.
Of course, of course. My name is Rose Laura Lewis. I'm also known as Credit Goddess. No, I did not make this name up. It was actually coined by a guest when I was doing a first-time home buyer, and it was like, you know what? You are the Credit Goddess.
Yes.
And I adopted it, right?
Nice.
I'm a credit score improvement strategist, and the reason why I say improvement, I not only repair, but I also help my clients improve their credit through education, optimizing their credit profile, getting it repaired to be in the best position to qualify for funding, because I'm also a NAV business broker. So I help them get to the funding, and I'm also a business credit coach. So I help startup companies, I help business owners get established business-wise with their credibility on their way up to corporate credit. So I'm so excited about this conversation. What I have upcoming, I have a community that I'm actually in the process of building. It's called Beauty Swag Credit, where we have like-minded individuals that come in and learn financial literacy together. You know, they asked for this, so I'm building it. So as I build, they shall come. So that's coming up soon.
Got it. Well, thank you. We are excited that you are here. Yes, you're right. Yes, got it. Oh, and then we have my mentor and the person that I work with credit with, Miss Benita Grant. Benita, introduce yourself, ma'am.
How you guys doing? My name is Benita Grant, and I own Cure My Credit Scores. We've been helping people for about almost 8 years now, but 7 years. We've helped thousands of people get their credit scores up so that they can buy a house, buy a car, and I am a component of multiple streams of income. Yes. I think everybody should have multiple, right? Because everybody needs money from there. And so I use, along with helping people build their personal credit, I help them build their business credit. And I teach realtors and everyone how to use business credit to flip houses. And I just flipped a house last week.
Yes.
And it's going online today, so I can show you pictures, but I literally did it with business credit cards. I did not use any of my own money. And it's sexy, and I love money. Everybody knows it. I love money. I love access to money. And so I'm super excited about today.
Awesome.
All right. And then we have Mr. Hannibal Collins. Sir, introduce yourself. Tell us what you got going on and all of the many things that I know you have your hands in.
Hello, ladies. I'm Hannibal. I'm the executive director of FICO Finesse. We do affordable and effective credit repair, and pretty much I help people improve their personal credit and establish business credit so that they can have ownership of homes, so that they can have ownership of businesses, have generational wealth. I want you guys to employ those in your community. Those are really important things, and credit is an important part of the conversation with anything you want to do, whether it's buying a house, buying a car, whether it's funding your business. All those things require credit, so it's important to have these conversations, and then you can start to leverage it, and you can get free rewards and points when you travel. You can get lounge access. You can skip the lines at the airport. You can do all those things that we want to do. So yes, I have a credit repair business, a one-stop shop for personal credit, for business credit, for funding. And also I help people. I have a travel business as well. We have a travel community on Facebook called Friends and Flights, where I post like affordable flight deals every single day. I've traveled every month for the past 3 years, and it's not as unattainable as people think. So I want to teach people how to travel, how to earn rewards, how to earn perks, I'm frugal, right. So you know how to do all those things. So that's pretty much what I do.
You speaking Pastor's language for frugal. You said frugal, and you just
I'm frugal.
Her heart just started beating when you said frugal.
So you have dope experiences, and you just make sure you do it with less. So people like how you travel every single month. It just has to make sense. You do stuff in a way that, just like the last person said, you definitely want to be able to get tax write-offs. You want to be able to get investments. I want you to get investments and use the income from that to do the fun stuff and not the other way around. So
I know that.
Oh my
God. Y'all are so sexy.
Make money before you use it.
Yes.
I say put your money to work like a money. You are the pimp and your money is the hoe. Put it on the block to make it
Okay.
So let me just say real quick before Pastor get this started. When I say right now, y'all notice she's salivating because she in her company, she's in her element. These is her people. She done found her tribe. So
Yep.
Like, where y'all been? Where has all of this dopeness been?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's start off with the one-on-one question. And I'm going to start with Mr. Hannibal. What is business credit?
So business credit is the opportunity to leverage a lot more than you would be able to personally. The limits are extensively higher, maybe 10 to 100 times the limit. Business credit is a lot of things, but it also isn't a lot of things. It's not free money. So banks do want to know that you can service that debt.
You better tell the
But
people.
you can definitely leverage it to have working capital, to expand, to scale, all those things that make your business grow phenomenally. When I was doing it all myself, my business was not thriving. But when I started having a team, outsourcing, delegating, how can I travel every month for 3 years? Because someone is still doing stuff when I'm gone. So business credit gives you the working capital to do any of those things you want to do, but you need to set it up properly. Anything requires a really good foundation or else it's going to crumble. So like the shortcuts don't really serve us. Doing things the right way. And in between all of us, we're definitely going to be able to tell you how to do these things properly. But business credit will allow you to leverage everything that you're doing, not impact your personal side in a negative way. It shields your utilization on the personal side. It also gives you access to way more money. So there's like the base level, vendor.
Let me stop you right there. I just want to ask if anybody else has anything to add, because I can see your ass gonna talk to you.
No, we all love this. We all like we are credit people. First of all, we will talk for days.
Yeah, he can go. I can see it. I can see it now. All right, brother, breathe. And we gonna use it all. We gonna let him use you. We gonna use it all.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything to add to that?
Hannibal said?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things I want to touch on what you said is the limits and how different they are. They're trying to help you run a business, right? I have good personal credit. I help people build their personal credit. And when I go for a Home Depot card, like a personal Home Depot credit card, I might get $2,000 with good credit. I might get a limit of $2,000. When I go with my business credit and get a Home Depot card, I'm looking at $25,000, $40,000, depending on how I set up the business. So they're giving you a lot more money. And as you know, the more money you have to play with, again, like he said, it is not free. Let me just be careful. They're not giving you any money. They are loaning you money.
Right.
Because you have to take care of it. You have to know you have to pay it back. But it really can help you. Like I love Home Depot and I love all this stuff because just like Hannibal said, I'm a traveler and Sonia knows I can't even post like as much travel because they're like, aren't you supposed to be writing letters? Why are you, like long story short, I love to travel and I am just like you, Paz. I'm just like you. I don't like to pay for it at all. Like I don't like to pay for it. I think like I can pay $100 for a good meal, but I'm not paying $200 for a plane ticket. I'm just not. It just makes me go like this. With my business credit, right? I know you're gonna like this. With my business credit, with getting points, last year I was able to take 22 people to Costa Rica, paid for their plane tickets using points, and paid for their hotels using points. Did not come out of the pocket at all, just off of points using business credit. So I love that. I love that.
Okay.
It makes me feel rich, and I like feeling rich. So
Okay.
Cool.
And here's the two things that I want to get people to understand as far as like business credit, because I get this a lot where they want to, get 50,000, 100,000 and things like that. When we're looking at the personal side and the business side, you get 10 to 100 times more lines of credit because we're in business to make money. Okay. That's we have to focus on making the money, right? Because the credit line is not free. And when you're in business to make money, there is no cap on how much you can make, as opposed to on the personal side, when you have to give your salary, when you put in the application and you tell them how much you make a year, that is the number that they're going to work with. They're not going to give you more than what you actually make, you know. So in business, they're going to give you what you need, because you need it for inventory, you need it for equipment, you need it for payroll, you need the line of credit for the business to grow and scale. That's the whole purpose. And then two, we coined the fact that it's not free money, because it's the opposite of debit. Debit, the money comes out of the account as soon as you swipe it, you debit, it comes out. Credit, you're saying, hold up. You know, can I get this right now and pay you back later? So that's what credit is. Can I pay you back later? And you better have that money to pay it back. If not, that's bad credit. That's bad credibility. So I just want to reel it all in for people to understand, you know, what credit is, because a lot of people they just go spend frivolously, but you always have to make sure you have a plan when you're using other people's money, because you don't want to have that bad credibility with the banks.
I know that.
Thank you for saying that. That is so important. I think we should reiterate that throughout.
I'm going to reiterate.
Yeah, we need to reiterate that. So that brings me to the next question. How are business credit and personal credit, are they cousins? Are they related? Are they brothers and sisters?
Distant cousins.
Go ahead.
Distant cousins. It's a totally different animal. The way you treat it is completely different. Everything about it, like on the personal side, you can't use more than 30% of whatever you're giving. On the business side, you can use whatever. On the personal side, you can't have but so many inquiries and trade lines, and your average age is impacted by having too many things. On the personal side, you can have on the business side, you can have as many trade lines as you possibly need. So it's totally different. Even the way you pay it is completely different. On the personal side, I can stretch a payment out the entire year. On the business side, if I borrow something and it's a beginning vendor net 30 account, I have to pay back in 30 days. So everything is like completely different, and we have to just train ourselves to work differently, and we have to establish it from square one with each of them separate ways. But that's a really long, extensive conversation. But yes, they're completely different. They're similar. They can, help each other.
Yeah, they
the
support
business
each other.
credit does require having good personal credit. So they are related, but they're just completely different people. Like, I'm a twin, but my brother is completely different than I am, like night and day. So it's like that.
Kind of look at business credit as an extension of you. That's your baby. We look at our business as our baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So if you're building business credit, you're basically building credibility, just like you would on your personal side. The same concept. The business has to be able to manage its own debt, make its own money, and have its own credit. So that way you don't have to personally guarantee it, quote and unquote co-sign. When a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to use my personal credit." Well, your business don't have credit yet. It hasn't established trust with the banks. So, and that takes time to build. So if you want the funding right now and you want the business credit cards right now without the build out, then you're going to need to personally guarantee it. Right. So that's when you have to co-sign, AKA PG, to get the funding that you need, if that's what you need to get your business up and going. But like they say, like Hannibal says, a cousin. Yeah. I say it's your baby.
I just want to make sure you're clear, that it's clear to everyone. You're saying, explain co-sign so that
the personal guarantor.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, when you're a personal guarantor for business credit, it means that most of the time, not all banks, but most banks, it means that you are responsible. You're giving them your EIN number and you're giving them your social security number. You can't just give them your EIN number because your business isn't established enough, right? When you get your social security number, it's like you can only get one social security. I have plenty of clients that are like, "Can you get me a new social security number?" You have one social security number. Now you can get 6 or 7 EIN numbers today, right? So when your business is young and it's not a well-known name, they're trusting you as you are your business. So
Right.
they need your social security number to be a personal guarantor. What that means is it will not, most of the time, it will not show up on your personal credit. It will only show up on your business credit. The only way it will show up on your personal credit is if you start having late payments on this account, or it goes into collection, or you bankrupt the business, then it can show up on your personal credit. But the great thing about, having business credit and being a personal guarantor is that, just like Hannibal was saying, credit works differently, business and personal. You could max out, because there's a couple of projects I've done where I had to max out 3 or 4 business credit cards. And because it's not showing up on my personal credit, I still have 800 personal scores. My business credit, I maxed out on 3 or 4 $30,000 credit cards to flip this house. And then another project happened. It came into me and they were like, do you want to take on this new project? If I had to use my personal credit and max out those credit cards, my personal credit would have been shot, right? But since my personal credit wasn't shot, I was able to get more credit cards, more money to take on a new deal when I hadn't even paid off my business credit card yet. That can't happen in personal credit. You can't get new $30,000 credit cards when you maxed out on a $30,000 credit card in personal credit. But in business credit, they know that you're trying to move different balls and stuff like that. And they're just a lot more lenient. Now, there are 3 different types of monitoring systems with personal and business. Personal, we got TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. Business, we have Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet, right? Now, each of them, they score things differently. Not many people use Equifax. Nobody's really bought into it. So most people's business Equifax score is whack, right? But nobody really uses it, so we don't really care. Experian is has been adopted by business credit cards. So a lot of times when you're trying to get a business credit card, they're pulling your Experian business credit score. So because Experian is the business credit card, lover, they weigh things a little bit differently than Dun & Bradstreet does when it comes to your utilization. It's not as bad as personal credit. They don't want you to stay at 10%, 30%. But if I'm using a lot of my business credit, my Experian score could be like a 70, right? And my Dun & Bradstreet score could be like an 85. Even though it's the same stuff or whatever, but your Dun's number weighs things differently than Experian. Experian is a little bit more heavier on your credit cards.
That is that was a whole lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. So I'm going to ask you. You mentioned the credit agencies for business credit. I'm going to ask Credit Goddess to add to that, because people don't know what Duns and Bradshaw. They don't know what that is. So
what that is.
You all can
Let's break
this
that
is
down.
101. So,
it's fun to us, though. Yeah, you just have to slow us down and bring us back.
We are so grateful y'all have so much information. So yes,
right. I am loving it. So
I'm
I'm just gonna do a round robin. I'm gonna ask Credit Goddess to add to what she said and break down what you heard for the people in the front and the back.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Okay, so I hear people, they want to establish business credit and they focus on the vendor accounts, the basic stuff that we hear out there. Like, I want to get a Quill and a Uline and a Granger and things like that. But what people have to understand, and especially when they ask the right questions, because I can tell that you did some research when you like, how many trade lines should I have on my credit profile? That's a good question, because if we're talking about establishing business credit, it's not just about the score. We say this a lot on the personal side. It's not about the credit score, it's about the profile. The credit score is just a book cover. When I say I don't judge people by their credit score, I look at their credit profile to see what is making up the score, and then I'll be able to tell you exactly what it is that you need to fix, because everyone's credit profile is different. Someone can have a low credit score and it's because they max out on their credit card, and someone can have a low credit score because they have so many past due collection accounts.
Are
So
you
when
talking about personal credit?
we
right
talking
now?
about personal credit, because I'm going to
Okay,
talk about business credit.
I just want to make sure it's clear. Okay.
Yeah, it's on a bit personal credit. And this is why, like, if you get to any one of us, Benita, Hannibal, myself, when we say we need to look at your credit profile, it's like going to a doctor. You know, you experiencing symptoms, we can't give you a prescription, or we can't make a diagnosis without looking at your credit profile. So do not be afraid for someone to look at your credit. And if they're not asking you for it, I want you to run to the next, like, run away, because we can't just give you a response without it. Okay, so now we're talking about scores, because when we're talking about business credit scores, is based on your profile. What do you have on it? We want to typically see a minimum 10 accounts. You know, it can be lower, right? Now, the reason why is because there's so many different credit reporting agencies out there. She named 3, but there's so many more. Like, you got the Paydex score, you got the PayNet score, you got the Credit Safe. You have so many. I think it's about 17 business credit reporting agencies that's out there, and you want to establish as many relationships as possible, because you don't know where they're going to report to. And as you're growing and scaling, when you're looking for funding, you don't know what that creditor and that lender are going to pull from. So you want to make sure that you are as established as much as possible across the board. Depending on if they want to pull Credit Safe, you have a Credit Safe score. You don't want to just like, let me get the Uline and Granger when it only reports to Dun and Brad and Experian. But like she said, Equifax, nobody checking for that. But you know why they're not checking for that though? Is because loans report to Equifax. And a lot of people haven't tapped into loans just yet. But loans report, loans report to Equifax. But people are trying to get to that point to get loans, right? And then you have the SBSS score, which is ran by the Small Business Association. That's the small business scoring system. And that score is based on your personal credit, your business credit, and your bank rating. We're not talking about bank rating, y'all.
Right, that's
bank rating.
That's a whole nother session.
Listen, they score you.
So yeah, well, and so.
You.
And actually, I wanted to jump in there for a second.
It's important, though.
Rosa Lord, we know it's important. We gonna have to have a several part, like break this out into several parts. But I wanted to just point out what you said, which I think is important to understand about credit. Period. It's the relationships. You're building relationships, and so this is no different than all of what your crew of girlfriends or the couple of guy friends, your side pieces, whatever you have. You're building relationships, and if you burn those relationships because you done fuck somebody over, it's going to get around, and they're going to hear, and so and so ain't gonna want to get no relationship with you because you don't know how to treat people in relationship. This is all about relationships.
It is.
You're trying to establish that I know how to be in relationship, and I know how to treat people well in relationship. So you building these relationships so you can demonstrate that.
And you're demonstrating integrity as well. So do you keep your damn word?
That's the word. That's the word.
Are you gonna keep your word? People act like you said. This is not a free. It's not free money. It's a loan. Most people, when they get credit, you sign and say, I commit to paying this by this date. I agree to your terms. And the minute you're out of integrity, when you say, well, shit, after 30 days, well, I ain't got it. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's their response too. And that's not good integrity. And you know what? That's going to affect your score, because your score is based on your habits, your consistency.
Yep.
That's what it's based on. You don't just magically get it. You know, and you know, a lot of people out here are manipulating their scores and stuff like that. They're looking. They know.
They know about the
when you're
users.
They know because you know, everybody that's jumping on the authorized user bandwagon and all that good stuff, is a code. It's an AU. That's what it's called. That's the code in your credit profile. If you got a whole bunch of AUs and no primaries, you're piggybacking off of someone else, and you haven't built credibility on your own. These lenders are up on this game, so I encourage every single one of you, if you are just frustrated and just confused about the whole process, you tap into a coach so they can guide you.
Exactly. Yeah. So Hannibal, what you got on all of this? Because I know, come on, bring it home and talk about.
Hannibal.
Because I know Hannibal over there itching. Like, come on, I got some stuff I gotta say.
I almost gave an evil laugh, but there's a big why to why Rose and why Bonita's mentioning some of this stuff. When they're saying, hey, you're getting multiple vendor accounts, why? It's because you're not even getting a score with Dun & Bradstreet unless you have multiple payment experiences. Unless you have at least 5 payment experiences, you're not getting a Paydex score from Dun & Bradstreet. And then it goes beyond. That's just the base layer. There's layers to business credit. There's those vendor accounts that we're talking about to build up that organic credit history on the business side. But then there's business credit, which is just getting credit in the name of your business. But then there's funding, which is a totally different layer on top of that. And when Rose mentioned something that is a little beyond 101, but is something that most people don't attend to, it's important. She said that you need to make sure you have a good bank rating. Why? We need to ask, why are these things important? It's important because it's how they're going to identify, can this person pay me back if I give them significant amounts of money? We're trying to get business credits to get 50,000, 100,000, whatever. If you can't pull in 20, 30,000 from your business, why are they going to loan you, $50,000, $100,000? On the personal side, it's called debt to income ratio. On the business side, your bank rating indicates, do you have less than 1,000 in your bank account? Do you have 10,000 in your bank account? Do you have this, that, and the third for an extended amount of time, like 3 months or so? So all of these things are really important when we want to go from vendor accounts to business credit to go to funding. It's really important to set up the fundamentals of all of this. And they're going to look at, are you credible as a business? Is your address a personal address? Or is it just a PO box? Or is it an actual business address? Do you have an actual FCC business line? Or is it a residential line? All these different criteria are really important in your fundability. They automatically get you rejected without you realizing it when you don't have the fundamentals. And we can get into that. I'll pause. I'll let you guys ask questions.
No, I got you. I mean, yeah, this is
really
some good stuff.
do want you guys to
Both of you all, I just want to go back and just do some definitions. You all mentioned bank rating. What is that?
A bank rating is how they score you based on how much you have in your bank account, right? So don't ask me to tell you what the increments are, but I know what you need to be. You need to be at a low 5. That's a minimum $10,000 in your bank account, and they need to see that consecutively for the past 3 months. And then it goes up to mid 5 and then a high 5. High 5 is like at $100,000 that you have sitting in your bank account consecutively. So they take those numbers along with your personal credit and your business credit when it comes to SBSS, especially for those that's trying to apply for SBA loans. They take those things into consideration. I know they do have some loans that they'll give you according to your personal credit, but if you have these 3 variables, business rate, the bank rating, the personal credit, and the business credit, you can get a good amount of money in your bank because you have established that credibility. Now let's talk about the 5 C's of credit though. This is the fundamentals. I want you guys to understand like how we're getting credit or how are they extending credit to us if we have these 5 C's. The top 3 is character. That's your personal credit. That's you. That's your character. So if you
wait a minute, hold up, credit guys. Did y'all hear
Right?
that?
She just slapped a few people in there.
Shut up.
Watching.
No, don't shut up. Keep
slapping
talking,
slapping our viewers. Character.
Listen, because and the reason why I do this because a lot of people think that just I got a credit score. Let me get some money, and it's like no. I wish we applied this in our personal lives because we would have gotten away from all this. Bickering and tension between family and friends that haven't paid us back because we don't got nothing to measure. We do. Mental note, we do. We know who to lend to and who we don't, but we do it from the kindness of our heart. But let me tell you, when it comes to business, ain't no heart in this. It's business. And they have to look in these variables. So character, and your character is based on what is reporting on your consumer report. And it comes with consistency, payments on time, utilization, length of credit, types of account, how diversified your credit profile is, all of that stuff. So based on your character, they'll lend you some money. The next C of credit is capacity. Capacity is how much money you have in the bank. That's that bank rating I was talking about. So if you don't have good personal credit, but you have money in the bank, That's collateral. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Your name is collateral too. I don't want anyone to feel like they are not, they're not who, you know, like they don't feel like they are something. You are worth something. You're an asset, which is why our signature is very powerful. So let's not overlook character. You just got to get into character and know the principles of building credibility, and you're good to go. But if you don't have good character, then you got capacity. If you got money in the bank, you can leverage that to get business credit. The next one is collateral. If you got collateral, then you can leverage that. You know, you ever played um, poker and you run out of chips, so you put your granddaddy watch on there to make up for the
I hope
value.
Not
not.
not your
Right.
granddaddy watch.
Your granddaddy watch. Well, see, well, we asked for your house. We asked for a key man policy, 401k, something of value that you're gonna add to the table to get the funding that you need. That's collateralized asset lending and all that good stuff you guys hear. The other one is cash flow. If you can show that your money, if you can show that your business has cash flow coming in consistently, you can actually borrow against that data, right? That you see merchant cash advances where they'll give you, it's like a payday loan or a cash advance where they'll give you money according to transactions that you're making from your credit card payments. So that's that. And then next is conditions. So based on the economic conditions, they'll lend you money, or based on your blue what's the word, business plan. If you have your business plan showing projections and showing how they're going to get their money back and things like that, they'll lend it to you according to your industry. There are certain industries they won't lend to because it's volatile, and then you got some industry where it's good money coming in because there's a need in the industry for whatever it is, products or services that you're offering. So that's the 5 C's of credit.
Got
Right?
it. Oh wow.
All right.
That's a
Well,
major. Yeah, go ahead, Pastel.
child, I'm
Right, your mind is blown. Like, okay, I'm on overload. It's like, okay.
so
Right.
grateful at this moment. And we have a couple of questions that came in.
We
Uh,
do.
The first question is, do you ever get to the point that personal credit is not a factor or necessary?
So, Benita,
I'll
you want
let,
to take
Go
that?
ahead. Go ahead.
who going? Hannibal,
Yeah.
Bonita?
I'll just do it really quick and let Bonita tap into something that we didn't say of why your personal credit is important is, unless you're at a certain threshold, you're not going to get the type of funding that people don't know. They don't know the term for it, but people want to get money and not be personally liable for it. And that's like called corporate credit. That's not even like business credit. That's a
Yep.
different. And unless you have $3 million in revenue for the past 3 years, you don't qualify for that level. So we have to organically build out our profiles, our business credit profile, our fundability through everything that she mentioned, all those 5 C's of credit. We need to build that out appropriately so we can get that money. So your personal credit does come into question, your business credit credentials, like all of the compliance items come into question, and there are a bunch of them. All that's really important. So I'll let Benita finish it off. But yes, you do get to a point at some point.
I can't wait to get to that point.
I know, right?
That makes me excited. I'm over here like
You're doing the steps. You do it.
You're doing the steps, and I'm glad that we were able to show like the tiers, and that's a good question that someone asked. You don't hear a lot of people talk about corporate credit because we're just getting into entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us are first generation.
I mean, honestly, I was talking to my grandmother, and she was just talking about how credit is our generation. Like it's not. This hasn't been like this forever.
No,
right.
Especially the people that look like us weren't offered credit.
Yeah.
I had a friend who came into town from some Europe. I forget what area, Croatia. And he said, United States is all about credit. You guys are all maxed out on your credit, because I told him what I did, right? And he was like, in Croatia, you have to save up your money so that you can buy a house. Like if you don't have the money, you can't buy a house, and for me, there's so many places in the world like that. And that's why there's such a huge, like where I travel a lot, there's such a big gap between rich and poor. And it's so easy in a lot of countries to stay there because there's nothing that will help you get there. United States, this is amazing. We have the opportunity to say, okay, I got a job. I pay my bills on time. Can you give me $400,000 so I can buy a house? It doesn't happen like that everywhere. I know credit can be emotional. It could be frustrating. It could be all of this energy. But when you are winning, and we are trying to teach you the rules to win, right? Sonia, about this rule game, because they you know, they should have taught us in middle school, high school, college, grad school, like
elementary school, damn it.
Yes.
That's why
Monopoly should be a freaking requirement. You know, but they should teach us this stuff, and they don't teach us on purpose. But the thing about credit is it really can change generational wealth. It can change. I mean, like, people move from, you know, working hard and being a millionaire by buying a house. Like, you literally can be a millionaire because you bought a house. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that I was a millionaire for 2 years. I didn't. I had no idea. I was like, I don't have $1 million in the bank.
Bars.
But Nina,
and my wife was like, baby, we have $1 million in property. We millionaires. I was like, you're lying. I said, I need to be a multimillionaire. What is this?
What you saying, Rosalora?
But let's talk about how if we tap into credit using other people's money, how we can actually narrow the wealth gap.
That's what
because when we're talking about net
worth, take me out of here, Sonny.
Let me just see y'all the slain.
Let me listen. When we're talking about net worth, what do we own?
Shut up.
Because if we're gonna save our money into owning something, it's gonna take us years, and half of y'all don't even know how to manage your money. Because you always gonna be dipping into your savings. It's something that somebody's gonna ask you for some money. Something's gonna come up. But if you're in a position to get it right now and pay it as you go, that's the best position. So as you're paying as you go, the amount of years that it would have taken you to save it, you got it right now, and then you pay it off in the amount of years that it would have taken you to save it, plus maybe a little bit more because we got to add in the interest. But now you own something, right? And now you can pass something on to your family, and we can then narrow the wealth gap. What in the we talking about our people. I don't know if we got the other race, but if y'all watching, we talking about y'all. But listen, but the Black community, what our net worth is, 17,500. Collectively,
it ain't even that much. At one point, young Black women under 35 had a net worth of $5. So
there was a whole article. We did a whole show
and all that on it. We did a whole show on it. Wow. And in this narrative, you know, we bought into this narrative because of the deceit that America has done and the trauma that America's done to Black people, where cash is king. The real shit that they didn't tell us was fucking credit is king.
Yes.
Credit is the motherfucking.
I gotta say.
What you got?
Cash is king, but credit is queen. If you play chess,
shut up.
Listen, if you play chess,
Absolutely.
You did not say that.
And listen, and the queen protects the king.
Yes.
Okay. Credit protects your cash. You don't have to use your cash. You can preserve it. How do you think Trump is filing bankruptcy out here? You think he's filing bankruptcy because he lost money?
Right.
He's filing bankruptcy on the things he's financing. And he's able to keep his cash and build right back up, depending on which bankruptcy you choose to file. People file bankruptcy to protect their asset. But if you don't got no asset to protect, then what we filing bankruptcy for, right?
Girl, right there.
Right. So queen.
I mean, because really, we see it all the time. People with bankruptcies, it's like, you filed bankruptcy for what?
For what?
You ain't have nothing. You had nothing.
You had nothing.
And you paid them. One of my clients said, she realized she paid the money she wound up paying for the bankruptcy. She could have paid off the damn paid the damn debts off.
Right.
It's like,
and then you don't have that 10-year blemish on your credit report, and you're trying to come to us to get it off. Right. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, credit, a queen, if you play chess, can move in all different directions freely. So when you have credibility, when you have credit and cash, You can do so much more. When you have cash, you're limited.
Mm.
If somebody gave you $100,000, you got that question, $100,000 versus 850, people would take the $100,000, and you're like, why? To pay off my debts. But then now you're gonna go closer and closer to the red, and then when you run out of money, now what? Now what? You're limited. But when you have cash and you can leverage other people's money, you got your $100,000 plus you borrow 50,000 over here, 100,000 over here, 200,000 over here. Now you adding on to that 100, even though that's not free money, but you can use other people's money to make more money to add on that 100,000. It's
So
math,
much.
y'all. It's math.
You guys said something about women that I really want to hone in on. Actually, Bonita said it, and she talked about the legacy of our grandparents. And my grandparents and my parents, they said each generation goes further. So they did stuff and made sacrifices so the next generation goes further. I don't think we realize or talk about enough that women couldn't do certain things before 1974.
Hello.
You guys couldn't have
Hello.
a credit card, a bank account, all this type of stuff without being married. That's not a distant. That's not a distant condition. That's a really recent condition. So
that's
we really came a long way. We're coming a long way. That's why we're teaching. I just went down to see my cousins this weekend. I just got back, and I was teaching the 15-year-olds and the 18-year-olds this type of stuff, because we're like, we worked hard, so you guys don't have to do this. We want you guys to invest. We want you to get access to capital, like Rose just said, so you can buy assets to pay for your liabilities. Don't incur a liability until you have an asset to pay for it. And then that's when your life with positive cash flow, all that type of stuff goes a really long way. So I just wanted to tap in on that. And Rose said one more thing that was really important when she said the bank ratings. I'm going to make it like a layman's term to something that you guys can relate to. When you're trying to buy a house, a mortgage professional is going to tell you to season the money, right? Like, I want to see that money in the bank account for 3 months or whatever. Don't just come to the closing table with $10,000 out of nowhere. I'm going to think you're a drug dealer, right? Like, where did you get the money from? So on the business side, you're doing the same thing. You're seizing the money with that bank rating. They're seeing that you have 10,000 sitting in that bank account. So when we give you $200,000, can you pay it with your revenue, with your cash flow, with your collateral, with your assets, all that type of stuff? So those are just two things I wanted to put in the conversation, because they're really important.
I just wanted to add something on the end of what you just said, Hannah. You just made a great point. You said in 1974, correct? Women weren't able to do certain things. So where does that leave women that look like us?
Right.
Probably in the damn 2000s, okay? Because we know when they let other people do things, then we gotta wait a little while without, post-slavery or slave within slave. We have to wait a little while. So this is really a new concept. So all praises due to all of you guys. My God.
It's all about education, like you guys said. It's like, that's our thing.
Yeah, that's
the fact that no one was educated really hurts our hearts. Like, it is.
They didn't know no better.
It feels personal. It does. It
does feel personal. I think it feels personal because we are personally going through this, and we know how it feels, and how it just feels so good when you're in a position where you can be confidently go to a bank and get approved. Before you had to cross your fingers, and then you had to accept whatever they give you. And it's like, hold up. Like,
I'm offended when they don't give me money. I'm like, excuse me, you ain't looking at my damn credit. I don't know who are you talking to right now?
I'll be like, what the hell?
Like, not me.
That's the reason why we educate, and I put education over services any day, because once we have an educated consumer, then we can get past the fear and the doubts and the skepticism, because now now you got to pull the trigger. Now that you got this information, what we gonna do? Right. There's excuses is not a thing for me. I don't understand excuses. That's a different language for me. So it's like, if it's something that you want, go and do some research. Do some research and apply it, implement, and you start seeing changes. But if you don't do nothing and you just think that it's going to change by doing nothing, that's insanity.
Exactly. Bonita, you were about to say. You sound like you were about to say something.
No, I'm intrigued with the conversation.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Let me tell you.
It's exciting.
Yes. So, and I just want to say, somebody in the comments said, I definitely need this. So people are fired up, tapping into. Oh, you did have. Okay, go ahead.
I'm on Theraflu and some other drugs. Because
You have a cold? Oh
no, I just think that in terms of education, growing up, I was told that forget it, money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
I was told rich people had lied, raped, steal to make their money. I was told that, I was told all this negativeness around money, right?
Yeah.
And I remember every time my mom got, the check on the beginning of the month, that was the day. Like, that was the day we got Oreo cookies. Like, that was a day. And then, we would actually eat out that day. We'd go to McDonald's. I could get my own Happy Meal. And then, we would get the refrigerator be full. And then, like a week later, we'd be hungry again. We had to wait. But that day, it was just like, there's a piece around money. Like, we're scared to talk about it. And I love the fact that I think we're scared to talk about it because nobody talked to us about it. I remember when I was in college, I went to Howard University, and then after Howard University, I went to Macquarie University in Australia, and my roommate was rich. I didn't know my roommate was rich. I found out my roommate was rich because I would have never met her if I didn't go to that school and then think I was gonna have enough money to pay for the upgraded rooms. Like, I had fundraised to get to the school or whatever, and I couldn't pay for the upgraded rooms, but I was like, please let me stay. But my roommate was rich, and I asked her, and I would just listen to her story. She would download every night because I was poor from the project, Black girl with locks. She was rich white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and was like, is my butt too big? Like, it was a whole different world, right? Yeah. But long story short, she told me, that her family had to donate anywhere from $17,000 to $25,000 a month to level out their taxes. I was like, I like your problem.
Right. Like what y'all give away?
Right. Have to.
Yes, has to. And then I said, how did your father make all that money? Like, how did your father make the money? And she was like, my father worked really hard when he was younger and made a lot of money so that he could retire and take care of us. That's all she had for me. I was like, I know there's more to this. I know there's more to this, but literally, even she literally told me, my roommate told me details of childhood stuff, details. But when it came to talking about money, off.
Right, because ain't nobody trying to they're not giving away that free stuff.
Yeah, I'm and that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like staring at you, Goddess. I'm staring at you, Hannibal, because it's like we have so much knowledge and we're pulling and gathering and we're throwing it back at people because it is well known to some communities.
Yes.
Right.
And then for us, we're like, wait a second, people can buy houses with life insurance?
Yes.
Are you telling me that, the way to change literally, it's like, if you love your kids while you're alive, the way you show them you love them while you're dead is you have life insurance. The idea of having life insurance on your kids, because I used to, I'm big on life insurance. It literally will change the game, right? I asked my friend, I'm like, okay, so you have kids now, you need life insurance for your kids. I don't want to make money when my kids die.
Right. That's the mentality we have.
That is not
It's like I'm making money on the fact that my child died. I'm prospering off of a tragic situation.
Yes. Or you could be setting up your grandchildren.
Right.
Right.
Or you could be setting up their retirement.
Yep.
Or you know what I'm saying? The idea of these accounts, these life insurance accounts, I'm going into life insurance, but there's so much money and there's so many ways to have your money grow money and there's so many ways that they're not telling us.
But life insurance is not a death benefit either. It's for your life. You have insurance on your vehicle. You have insurance on that iPhone you got there for that $1,200. You got insurance. So why are we not putting life insurance on our life?
So
You're
it
not
sounds like it's
making
something
money.
about value.
Oh,
Yeah,
value.
right. That right there. That right there.
I want
It's
to get
about what
people.
Value
matters.
your life.
Yeah, it's about what matters.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's about what we say we value
And
it,
what is
but we
required.
don't.
We have to have life insurance. I'm sorry, we have to have insurance on our car. We don't have to have life insurance. If
You
we
don't have
had
to have
to have life
insurance
insurance,
on your phone though, and we still do.
you
right.
said what?
Just
We
in
don't
case.
have to have insurance on the phone, but we
No,
still
no.
do.
But we do it because
But
it's
we do it
important
anyway.
to us.
It's
Exactly.
Important to us.
Just
Exactly.
in case. So
Yep.
why not a just in case on our life? Just in case.
Mm.
We're not waking up tomorrow. You,
People don't think about death and they don't think about retirement. Those two things are
Oh, and it's so sad.
those are my passions. Because I'm like, I might get hit by a bus tomorrow. Well, goddamn, what if you don't? Shit, what are you gonna do?
and leave
Work
me
till
to our
you
family with
100?
all those bills that we got. They gotta
Right,
pay.
you gonna work till you 2000, but Lord have mercy, it is 8:55.
It is, and I just
just
Dang.
met you all, except
Oh
for Benita.
no!
And let me tell
Dang.
you, I love you all. I love y'all. Thank you.
she can
Thank you.
sop you up with a biscuit.
This
Somebody
was
in the
good.
comments says I
Right.
need remedial credit class before introductory, and somebody said me too. Where can I sign up?
Well, we
can.
got to do
Somebody
another
said
credit
we can
101
sit
show.
near each other. Indeed. So they saying they all want to sit together in the class because everybody like we need this. I need that.
Yes.
Y'all want to
Just
put
have the
all three of
conversations.
us, y'all want to put a credit class together?
We
I would
should.
love to.
That would be
We
great.
should. But the point is, I love what Dr. Paz did. I love what Sonia did. I love what all these ladies did. Having a conversation is crucial. When you don't have the conversation, we don't get any of this knowledge. Just what Bonita said. Like, we just don't grow up having these conversations. I wish it wasn't over because I was going to give you guys an actionable tool to make your money go further. But this is wrapping up.
How
Unfortunately,
about
Part two?
we can film you briefly? Either you want to do that, Sonya? How
Okay,
long
we
is it
can
gonna
do
take?
that. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, how long is
We
that?
do
So
it.
you're gonna have to give it
can
him,
do
but
it
we need
after
the
the-
monies.
I can give you the 2-minute version, but we were
Okay.
kind of wrapping up.
Go ahead, 2 minutes. You
Yeah,
got it.
go ahead,
So,
break it out.
I'll try to make it really, really condensed. Pretty much, I learned this concept. I did not invent this. I'm only 35, right? But paying attention to people that are financially literate, paying attention to people that are financially literate, I noticed the commonality between all of them, and they did a concept called paying yourself first, right? I did not invent this, but they all do that in one way or another. And the concept is that the first thing you're doing when you get paid from anything is investing, because money needs to make money. Just you guys all said it different ways. Money babies, pimping your money out, whatever the case may be. Money loses money every year, and at this point, it loses 9% a year. So anything not growing is dying. So if your money is not making money, you're losing money. So your money needs to be making money. So that's the first thing you're doing. But then it activates what's called compound interest when you invest and reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. And that's the power of what Bonita said about life insurance. Is like it grows compound, like gradually it goes up a lot. So I can't teach you to get rich quick, but consistently and gradually you can definitely get rich with consistency. So you're investing 10% of everything you make over and over again. Then you're saving 10% of everything you make. And the order is important. So the first thing you're doing is investing 10%. The second thing is saving 10%. So you accumulate stuff in case stuff happens, or for your long-term goals, to buy a house, to buy a car, to send your kids to school, whatever, to get your body done, whatever it is. Then the third thing you're doing is 10%. The third thing is 10% for play, to reward yourself for this discipline. It's like the cheat day in the gym. Financially, this is your cheat day. So I get Brooklyn Nets season tickets. I travel. I go to concerts. I do whatever makes me happy and fills my cup. The next 10% is for growth. This is anything that makes you better at making money. So it can be having a mentor or coach. It can be getting a system. It could be outsourcing or delegating. It could be anything that's required to make you better at money. So when I hired a mentor, my business tripled the next month and doubled the month after that, and never looked back. So you make wise investments to make you better at making money. So again, that's 10% to invest, 10% to save, 10% for yourself, 10% for growth, 55% for your bills and obligations, and 5% to give, because whatever you give reciprocates back to you. And that's how that goes. I guess in the group we can post that link of that visual, how that works. But yeah, invest first, save, spend on yourself, spend on growth to make you better at making money, pay your bills, and give back. And everything is gonna go a lot further than it did without a plan, because without a plan, we spend everything we make on what we want to do and what we need to do, and nothing propels us forward. With this, different aspects are propelling us forward. So I wanted to give back to you guys.
Hannibal said he was gonna come in here and drop it like it's hot. He said, "Look, I have a presentation that I need to show your viewers.
I
need them to understand, and I need visuals, and so I need to use my other computer while I'm on the phone because I'm gonna show your viewers." And so, thank you, Hannibal, for giving us that because I wrote that shit down. I got that. That's my new marching orders.
Okay. I love it.
Let's go in with a bang.
Yeah, let's go. So we're gonna have to do this
God.
again. Go ahead, Pops. Close us out, Mama.
Again, because my heart is just pitter-pattering over here. I'm just so excited. I already don't.
You need a cigarette. You need a cigarette.
Jeez. I'm gonna need to hit something after this to calm my ass down.
Come on,
Lord. Thank you all so much again for the art of making. Using other people's money, Credit 101. Please, if you're watching, share this with everyone.
Yes.
Go to www.gauzeonline.com and sign up for the YouTube page. Follow all of our panelists. They are so dope. Please follow them on Instagram, Facebook. Follow these.
Check out their websites. I'll post in the group tomorrow. I have flyers with all of their links. So go to all that stuff, their phone numbers, call them, hit them up, email them, just blow them up.
I'm calling both of y'all tomorrow. We gotta work together.
Yeah. So this right here, it was just awesome. This is what I like to do. I like to bring people together. I didn't know it, but guess what? Y'all brought this shit home.
Yeah, y'all did.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you everyone for watching. Sonia, you want to close us out and tell them what we have coming up next week?
Yes. So just as a reminder that we go live. This is No Bra Wednesday. We go live on at Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and where we let our girls loose and the wisdom gets dropped like it's hot honey. So, the titties were responsible. We not the testosterone speak too, but the titties were responsible for the information that was present here today, and then we brought it forward from the testosterone as well. So, you want to make sure you join us. Check us out next Wednesday because Pasta and I are going to be shooting the shit. We're going to talk about current events and what's going on in the world and who up the craziness and what we need to do about it. So anyway, join us next week. And like Pa said, go to the YouTube, subscribe, share it with your friends. And, everybody needs to see this video. All right. So with that said, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks again for our folks. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Ben's Hager smelling like bank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top, if you got it, let's go.